My name is Robert McGee. I'm a professor here at FIU, and I've done a number of studies in this area.
I am Wendy Gelman. I've been here at FIU for 10 years. I teach online, hybrid, and face-to-face, and I have been working with Robert W. McGee for several months, collaborating on research and writing papers together.
A few years ago, I came across this database. It was available on the internet and also in hard copy from some data that was gathered as part of another survey that some other people did. They surveyed 200,000 people in 85 countries, face-to-face interviews, and they asked them over 200 questions. One of those questions was on the ethics of tax evasion. Basically, they said, would you cheat on taxes if you had the opportunity? And they were supposed to pick a number from 1 to 10, 1 if they would never do it, and 10 if they would always do it, if there was nothing wrong with it. And the survey we had from 6 Latin American countries and the United States, we wanted to do a little comparison. And that sample alone, there were something like 8,600 people, so it was a very good sample size. And they broke it down demographically by gender and level of education, age, they had 3 different age groups, and also by religious practices, how often they attended religious services. So we decided to crunch some numbers to see if there were any differences, if men had different views on the ethics of tax evasion than women, and if education level mattered, if people based on age maybe had different views about it.
And I wanted to mention that the 6 Latin American countries that we did research were Argentina, Chile, Mexico, Peru, Puerto Rico, and Venezuela. Basically, I did a lot of the gathering of data and collecting and synthesizing, and Bob crunched the numbers, and then we sat down and analyzed it together, and we assessed the results.
We found that as a general rule, there was a high level of resistance actually to tax evasion. They were very much opposed to it for the most part, but some groups were more opposed than others. Like women tend to be more opposed to tax evasion. We found that to be the case for all 6 Latin American countries as well as the United States. But in the area of education, whether they were highly educated or not so highly educated, we couldn't see a difference. Education level didn't make a difference as far as their opinions went. And as people got older, they tended to become more averse to tax evasion. They were more against it than when they were in their younger years. And as far as religious preference goes, they had 4 or 5 different categories based on how frequently you attended religious services. And it seems like the more frequently people attended religious service, the more averse they were to tax evasion. So those who didn't go to services at all, they tended to be more favorable toward tax evasion. So those were the basic findings.
I was personally surprised that the level of education didn't affect their decision whether it was okay or not to evade taxes, which I would have thought at the outset that the more education you receive, the less likely you would be to evade taxes. But that clearly was not the case, so that was a surprise for me. We're actually right now working on another project. We are gathering data on the ethics of tax evasion, and we are currently polling FIU students in the business school, undergrad and graduate, to see if we can determine any difference between their attitudes towards tax evasion based on gender, age, education, and religious affiliation.
So, and ethnic background.
And ethnic background.
Yeah.
So we're very excited to see the results of this because this really hits home to us.